The ARCA Menard Series race at Daytona was a chaotic, action-packed event filled with drama, surprises, and some of the most unforgettable moments in recent racing history. From massive wrecks to unexpected breakout performances, this race had everything a motorsports fan could ask for. But two names stood out the most: Butterbean and Cletus McFarland.
Ryan Blaney has won his way into the championship.
A great day for Kyle Larson.
Seventh career win in his 100th.
Joey Logano takes the checkered flag. Hell yeah, boy!
Daytona is one of the most legendary tracks in all of racing. It's known for high-speed pack racing where cars run side by side at nearly 190 miles per hour, inches apart. One small mistake can lead to a massive wreck, and with many inexperienced drivers in the field, the risk was even higher. Fans knew this race would be wild, and it did not disappoint. The chaos started early. Just a few laps into the race, a huge 15-car wreck shook up the field. Cars spun in every direction, slamming into the wall and each other. Some drivers' races ended right there, while others continued with heavy damage. Only a handful of cars made it through unscathed. Among them was Butterbean, who was driving the number 28 car for Pinnacle Racing Group. Butterbean's victory was nothing short of incredible. He had already made a name for himself in short track racing, but winning at Daytona is a completely different level. Daytona is a track where experience matters, yet he showed nerves of steel, staying out of trouble when others couldn't. By the final stretch of the race, only 4 cars were still running without major damage, and Butterbean had one of the fastest cars on track, and he took full advantage of it. He led the final 7 laps, holding off the competition to take the checkered flag. For Butterbean, this was a career-changing moment. Winning at Daytona, even in the ARCA Series, puts a driver on the map. This victory proved that he isn't just a short track specialist. He has the skills to compete at the highest levels. The celebration was electric. His team erupted in cheers, and fans immediately started talking about his future. Could he make the jump to the NASCAR Xfinity or Cup Series? With a performance like this, anything is possible. But while Butterbean won the race, Cletus McFarland won the hearts of fans in a way that no one expected. Known for his wildly popular YouTube channel, McFarland has millions of followers who love his over-the-top automotive content. He isn't a full-time racer. He isn't a NASCAR prospect. But his entry into this ARCA race proved to be a game-changer. From the moment McFarland hit the track, he brought a new energy to the event. NASCAR knew he had a massive online following, so they leaned into it. They set up a special in-car camera and live-streamed his race experience on YouTube. The results were staggering. At one point, over 50,000 people were watching his onboard feed, an unheard-of number for an ARCA race. This showed the incredible power of social media in today's motorsports world. Now, McFarland wasn't just there for show. He actually held his own on the track. He avoided early wrecks, he made smart moves, working his way through the field. And one of the best moments came when he narrowly dodged a massive crash by mere inches. His real-time reaction, caught on camera, was priceless. But as thrilling as his race was, it came to an early end. Amber Balkin lost control of her car and spun directly into McFarland. He had nowhere to go. The crash ended his race, but it didn't end his impact on the event. After the wreck, Fox interviewed McFarland, and what happened next was legendary.
How you wanted it to come to a close. What was your experience like as a whole?
Well, I was having the best day of my life. Ripping around Daytona like a bald eagle. I was flat out, avoided a wreck, which was awesome. I thought I was the best driver to ever exist in that moment. And it's probably because my sleeves were cut off that I was able to pull off that maneuver, come down pit road. Then someone slammed into my rear left quarter, spun me out, lived through that, got some fresh tires, went back out there. I'm hot dogging into 1 and 2, and the car lost it in front of me, and I saw it, didn't have enough brakes to get slowed down before it, and tried to go around it, misread it, zigged instead of zagged when I should have zagged, and I zigged, and bam, blew the front end right off my hot rod.
Fans went crazy for the interview. Social media exploded with clips of McFarland's reaction. This was a moment that reminded everyone why racing is supposed to be fun. For years, NASCAR interviews have become robotic. Drivers sound too polished, too careful with their words. They thank sponsors, they avoid controversy, and they stick to the script. McFarland, on the other hand, was completely unfiltered, and people loved it. He brought back the kind of personality that NASCAR used to thrive on. It was a throwback to the days of Dale Earnhardt, Tony Stewart, and other drivers who weren't afraid to be real. McFarland may not be a full-time racer, but in one weekend, he did something many NASCAR drivers haven't done in years. He made people care. His presence brought in thousands of new fans who might have never watched an ARCA race otherwise. If he were given a shot in the NASCAR Cup Series, the buzz would be off the charts. This isn't the first time an outsider has brought excitement to NASCAR. Years ago, Travis Pastrana, the legendary motocross and rally driver, ran a few NASCAR races and fans loved it. Even drivers like Tony Stewart and Dale Earnhardt Jr. became fan favorites because they had real personalities and connected with people. But somewhere along the way, NASCAR moved away from that. The sport became too corporate, too careful. Drivers became media-trained robots, afraid to say anything that might ruffle feathers. McFarland reminded everyone that racing is supposed to be exciting. It's supposed to be fun, and sometimes it's supposed to be just a little bit chaotic. And just when fans thought his day was over, NASCAR made another brilliant move. Instead of letting McFarland fade into the background after his crash, they invited him into the broadcast booth to help commentate on the rest of the race. And once again, he delivered. His energetic, unfiltered approach to commentary was a breath of fresh air. McFarland's performance was impressive, but his race was not without challenges. The Daytona ARCA race is known for being unpredictable, and this year was no different. Early in the event, a massive 15-car pileup demonstrated just how difficult pack racing can be. When cars are running close together at such high speeds, one small mistake can lead to disaster, and that is exactly what happened, as one miscalculation sent multiple drivers spinning out of control. This was just the beginning. More accidents followed, with drivers struggling to stay out of trouble. Because of the high number of accidents, the race became more about survival than speed. Drivers who managed to stay clean had the best chance to win. Butterbean took advantage of the chaos and came out on top. His ability to avoid trouble was a key factor in his victory. While many cars suffered heavy damage, Butterbean kept his car in good shape and crossed the finish line as the winner. This win was huge for Butterbean. He is now a full-time ARCA driver, and this victory gives him momentum going into the season. If Butterbean continues to perform well, he could find himself moving up the ranks in the near future. And that's all we have for today's episode. Don't forget to give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell while you're down there.